Hi everyone. I think many of you have heard about Lovable and most probably were even giving it a try as well as I did. And in this video, I would like to share with you about our experience, how we use Lovable at bpa.pro, where it helps us and where it's useless. In this video, I have my colleague, one of our team members of bpa.pro, Valik.
Hi, nice to be here.
Thank you. And we're a rather small team so far, so we do not have a particular roles decided. So Valik is mostly responsible for marketing and lead generation, and this is how he got to use Lovable. So my journey with Lovable started when it was just freshly released. I was given it a try to create a BPA Pro website that surprised me a lot, but still took some of the development time to make it work. So technically, I have prototyped it within several hours, and then it took another day just playing around with code, making sure it works, connecting forms from HubSpot, like for the contact page, and just debugging it. So with BPA Pro website, my experience was it was like really very helpful in prototyping, and then still required development time to make it production ready. So then we went further, and for my other company, the network of barbershops, we wanted to create a landing page for the school because we are running, opening a new direction in our service. At this point in time, Valik was already part of my team, so I just asked him to use Lovable and give it a try to create landing page. So he was very successful with it, just within 1 or several hours. So we decided to redo the whole website completely. Yeah, which took not so long, just several days from my perspective, as the way I saw it. Just several days of the guy who doesn't have a lot of technical experience. I just asked one of our developers to work jointly with Valik for half a day to make it production ready. And here we are, we have a new website with many pages and landing pages and even forms which are being submitted and tracked. Yeah, that's how this experience looked to me. Valik, how was your experience? What is your story of creating the landing page and website for Gangsta Barber as non-technician guy?
What about me? I was studying web development like 10 years ago, and from that time, I wasn't very experienced in these type of projects. So, when I saw the Lovable service, I was very impressed by it because you can simply add a ChatGPT prompt to it and it will build you a fully workable landing page. So it was quite easy for me. Some problems started when you must do a backend development, when you want to fix something or something like that, because I have lack of experience in that kind of.
Yeah, because you're not a technician guy, right?
Yeah,
You took a course for the front end, which is like 10 years old. So most probably it was just some HTML and CSS and maybe basic JavaScript,
yeah,
but
and
far away from any backend challenges.
yeah. So for me, it was quite easy. The source like this that you can just type um, some script and you have ready to go web page. It's very cool and nice feature. So one of the best features on Lovable, you can create the web page not using any money at all because you have free credits to do it, and it's nice. It can work easily from the beginning.
And even if you want to get like more serious about it, right, you can get just 100 credits for $25 per month, which was sufficient to create the whole Gangsta Barber website and all of the landing pages, and probably even several versions for each because there was a lot of back and forth and changes.
Yeah, from my perspective, $25 per month it's very cheap because 100 credits gives you the workspace that you can create like 5 web pages, because on 5 free credits I was able to create the skeleton for the Gunsta School web page, and on this skeleton I can easily add any elements that I want. So it took me like a few hours to create it with the ChatGPT help. But if you want do it very efficient, you can just buy the subscription for the $25 per month, and 100 credits is very huge amount to work with.
Yeah, you can move fast with that, right? And what is your feeling? How do they charge the credits? Because it feels like they have some sophisticated system behind it, like to calculate how many credits to use. It's not just a credit per prompt, right?
Yes, because it works like the 5 credits, the free credits on the start, they ended very quickly. They burned very quickly, because when you give the Lovable a very big prompt from ChatGPT, for example, he burns a lot, because he must build a very big amount of work. He must build a landing page or website either from the scratch, so it burns like all
Basically,
the
it's more complex prompt you give it, as more credit it uses.
If you want to make some small edits, like change the text or do something like that, it like burns the half of a credit, like 0.5 credits. If you want to do like a large you want to give him a large task, then it can be like from 3 to 4 credits. So you must do it like complexly. You just put one big task for the Lovable, and he redo it all. But in that particular type of work with Lovable, when you give him a big task, he will do the more damage to your website, because when the task is very huge, the Lovable don't know what to do. When you do it like particularly some element to change, here some type of text to change, he do it more efficient than if the task is very big. So you must like balance between these two types of tasks for the Lovable.
So my usual flow with Lovable would be like, I open ChatGPT, first of all, ChatGPT or any other LLM or Gemini or whatever else, just brainstorm with it about my idea, what I try to implement, and just ask it directly, please summarize it into the prompt for Lovable. Then I get like one big prompt, which describes most of the features and pages I want. Just check it, maybe edit a little bit, feed it to Lovable, and Lovable, somehow it feels like they have some limitation. I mean, like they just implement parts of the functionality, not everything is working. So after I gave it a larger prompt, I just check the result. If it goes right, then I just ask it to proceed and continue implementing other pages. And it does work for me. Or if there are any changes needed, then I just give it instructions what to change and just ask it to proceed with other pages. But anyways, at some point, you're completely right. You have to stick to, like, as bigger your project gets, as more you should be sticking to small exact prompts to do like one exact thing or address one particular page.
Yes, it's just like it making a good structure for you, so you can just add some details and it's ready to go. But it's don't working like from scratch to the ready web page.
I would expect it in a couple of years to work on well enough for something like websites, but they position themselves not just as a tool for creating websites, right? It's more universal tool. Like you can create any application, and for business related applications, I wouldn't trust it so much. I would still need to look into the code and make sure.
Yeah, you're right.
So you can use free credits to create some landing page for a basic website. You can connect it to GitHub and get all of the source code. You can tweak around it. You can use Cursor to make some changes for it, for example, too. And then when you have a production-ready version, you can just use Firebase to deploy it. They give quite good credit, which is enough for some basic usage. I mean, like this, the Gangsta Barber website. Let's see how many visitors do we have. So 14,000 users within last 60 days, and we are still within free tier of Firebase. So even would be like 10 times more, I wouldn't expect a high bill. Maybe I would pay like several bucks for hosting, which is wasn't sufficient in my opinion.
It's insane, like for such a few amount of money and resources, you can do such things like that. So
Yeah.
from my point of view, I think that it's very good platform and service to filtrate all of the not very good workers. So you are paying guy like $500 for the web page, and he do you one like landing with only text, not
Oh yeah.
clickable buttons
Or
and everything like that. I heard a lot of histories when the guy reached to me and asked me, hey Wally, can you make me a web page, because the last guy I paid $500 just made me a text version of website with a few phone numbers and one link to my Gmail, and that's all, and like $500. Here you can do a clickable, everything working web page for free. But we're talking about the guys that took money and just making shit. So it would filter out this part of the market, and it's very good because the better web pages are gonna be, the better market would be working for that.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's working like that. I think the Lovable in this kind of perspective is a very nice platform.
It's also very helpful for the requirements. What I mean that I'm more than 10 years in software development, and it's always was like development of some custom software solutions for different businesses to automate some parts of their processes. And it happens very often that the owner of the business, they have a vision of what they want the application to look like and what they needed to act like. And when I was starting like 15 years ago, it was like getting requirements was always a pain. When I was starting and like all the way through all the 15 years, figuring out requirements, this is one of the most crucial parts, because this is like it defines how the whole implementation will go. And there is always a lot of moving back and forth, like you're getting some initial requirements from the customer. You work with the developers, you implement some prototype, you show it to the customer, turns out you've got something wrong or you missed some of the information and you have to redo it, and you do like several iterations just to figure out what it should look like. And it takes a lot of time. Each of those iterations may take weeks of work.
Yeah, you're right.
While here, it's like, it makes it so much easier. So if you are a business owner, if you want to save time and money, just use something like Lovable or else to visualize what you need your solution to look and act like. Then just document it or record a video, because video can be transcribed and transcription can be used as a part of documentation. Just explain why it is built like that, what should happen, how the interaction should happen, what should happen on the background, on the business logic part, on the back end. And that would be already such a good requirements which developer can take over and implement exactly what you're looking for from the first try, right? Maybe there will be like a couple of versions, but it reduces the whole development cycle so much, because when you give a developer just a rough idea or even a document, there are still a lot of things which can be misunderstood, especially when we are talking about some complex business processes. But when you give someone a clickable prototype, which already reflects how you see it should act, and you give it just a little documentation or just record a video explainer of why it looks like that, what do you expect it to be, and where you plan to develop it further, that already saves months of time in development of the solutions for your business. That's how I see it. And additionally, I wanted to share about my experience of using Lovable for exactly resolving business needs. So I'm working with a team of developers, and I am the one responsible for figuring out the requirements. And this is the approach I follow. I just develop a first rough prototype in Lovable. We approve it with customer. I add like several pages documentation for it to describe the most important parts of the behavior of the application. Yeah. We've spoken about many good things about Lovable. Let's talk a little bit about bad things. In my approach about bad things, for developers, it's somehow not convenient to develop it further into working solution. So speaking about business process automation and making small customized custom applications for particular businesses, we do prototype in Lovable, we take the source code, and then we use Cursor to adjust it, to develop it into a working solution and extend it with more advanced features, because Lovable, it can really like spoil things very fast, and for complex stuff development, Cursor shows much better result. That is our workflow we follow currently. So far it works. We use it for like not so long time, so I think there will be more videos where I will share about our experience with this approach. So just to sum it up, do prototype in Lovable, add a little documentation, give it to developer, give developer Cursor to develop it further into a production-ready application. Let's have a quick walk through the main features of Lovable, which we use. The main communication interface is chat, just like with ChatGPT. It has two modes. You can enable chat mode. This is when you can just discuss your project without making any changes to the page. And when you disable it, basically you just talk to it as the developer. It takes everything as a requirement which has to be applied to your project. For small changes like change wording or anything, I highly recommend to use this edit mode because if you can't just ask it in chat to change some wording, but you will burn your credits with it, and there is still a chance that it will misunderstand you and change something else. So if you enable this mode, you can point out to a particular element you want to change and just ask for quick changes, or you can just change it like here directly and it saves it. You can also do some basic changes like change the content itself, margin padding, you can change styles, make it bigger, smaller, use other fonts, colors, alignment. There are even advanced features. Oh yeah, that part is actually very convenient because you can use advanced feature to quickly get to the code of that element. Basically just enables the editor mode and points out to the exact element so you can change directly in the code. That one I would recommend to use for people with some technical background. It's still not like connecting it to the GitHub, pulling local project locally and doing advanced changes like developer does. But here you can tweak some basic JavaScript code, and yeah, that's very convenient to be pointed out directly to here. You can just disable this mode. So basically this is just a wrapper which lets you conveniently get to the element in the code. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the editor. That will save you many credits on small tweaks. And yeah, for the rest, for the bigger changes, just feel free to ask for it for changes in chat. This is our experience of using Lovable for just basically several months. It was a while when I gave it a try and created a website and created several prototypes for some of my ideas. But it's only a few months since we are using it for like real production and for real business needs. So that's how it goes so far for us. Feel free to share your experience in the comment. I would love to see it. Or if you have any questions for any other details, just feel free to drop a comment below the video. or go to our website and contact us if you would like to get a consultation or explore how we could help your business with automating its processes, mainly finance and sales. Thank you so much for attention and wish you a good day.